Folks, what the crap's going on? Heir of Cathay here, and yes, your Salt Dragon is back to continue to lead to hopefully Cathayan dominance. We are not there yet. In fact, we are being attacked by the Dissenter Lords of Genshin. And these boys apparently like some guns, because they got 6 cannons, and 7 Nangao rifles, as well as 4 crane gunners. So these guys are seriously into some black powder. Now, we have them outmatched in the infantry department, but that's not typically how we like to fight our battles with Grand Cathay. Now, I want to point out something really stupid that CA needs to fix. Now, I'm not saying this to like really rail on harp on them, but I took a little bit of desert attrition coming across, which is totally fine, right? It's a desert, that's cool. Not complaining about that. Look at the tiny bit of health that we lost from our rocket battery, but we lost a gun. So we took a tiny bit of health, and I'm not even sure if we lost any of the actual, the little men within the unit, but we did lose a gun. So this is like absolutely stupid. This happens to chariots, it happens to artillery, and it needs to stop. So CA needs to find a way to fix this to where the attrition needs to come on to a certain amount before one of these finally drops off, because making one of them drop off immediately significantly decreases the artillery capability of these units, and so it's highly irritating to see that, and really feel like it's something they need to fix. Anyway, let's go fight this battle. It says that our losses are going to be high. I suppose that's possible with the number of cannons and guns coming towards us. Let's try and not let that be true. All right, we're going to kick the battle off. My primary objective, or at least I'd hoped, would have been to remove their cannons from play. Their cannons are in range of my line, and my rockets are not within range of their cannons. Their cannons are actually up in the woods, so this is a very not ideal situation for me. They've started firing at my crane gunners. I don't want to allow that, so I'm going to move that unit back. I'm going to go ahead and let my rockets do a little bit of work here on some of those exposed units. They're going to want to wait on their reinforcements to show up. My rockets are just outside of the range of anything valuable right now, unfortunately. And as I move up, I'm just going to feed more potential units into enemy fire. I'm going to go ahead and move up a little bit. I'm going to have to in order to come within range of more valuable targets. I do have some tigers hidden over here on this flank as well, where I'm kind of hoping to get to some units. Hold on, it's 46 seconds till they show up, so I don't want to get over hasty here. They're going to start firing at my Dragon Guard here. That's not unexpected. I'm still not within range of their cannon. I guess it feels like their cannon outranges me by quite a lot. And you can see that their cannon is causing some significant damage to me. I'm going to push up with the rest of my units that are back here. Trying to push these units up. Kind of being a little bit funny about it. Okay, the AI is now reforming because their reinforcements are coming onto the battlefield. I'm going to take this opportunity to try and rain some hot death on their grand cannons. Looks like they are still firing at my expensive infantry. That's not a surprise. Their grand cannons are definitely a threat here, a large threat. As are their sheer number of skirmishers. Right now, though, they're doing a lot of rearranging. It's a good opportunity for me to put some damage on their cannons, and then potentially have misfires hitting these large infantry blobs. So see, like right there, my misses still managed to hit something valuable. And we're also taking out crane gunners as we target those cannons. So I'm going to let my fire rain rockets continue to bring the heat. They continue to target my expensive infantry and my crane guns. And that's an understandable target. It's going to be difficult for me to really stop that entirely. I do want to save my crane gunners, so I'm going to move them back into cover. They're now shooting at some of my Nangao rifles. They've got crane gunners in range now as well. I'm going to have to watch that. That's also a problem. They've got more crane gunners than me. We got some good damage done on some of their cannons. They've got some major blobs moving up towards us as well. I'm going to actually take my infantry and start pushing a line up. I want to keep some distance between my cannons and some of their skirmishers. They've got a Jade Lancer coming up on me. I have to brace for that charge. Oh, they saw my tigers. Crap. Get out of there, tigers. Pull the tigers back here. That Jade Lancer charge is actually really irritating because it's more effective than I want it to be right now. I'm going to move up my Nangan rifles again. I'm trying to just put some rocket punishment into the biggest blobs that I can see at the moment. I'm being chased by a Jade Lancer over here, which I'm going to have to turn around and now fight once we get to these woods. I need my great Longma Riders. Let's take my 2 tigers and my Longma Riders, thrash this Jade Lancer. Our infantry is getting just blasted to bits by the sheer volume of Nangao rifles on the other side of this battle. Let's get the Iron Dragon up in the air and get him to work a little bit slow, and then we need to get our big boy into the fight as well. I'm gonna go after some of these units. Let's pour into there. Keep the fight going in that vicinity. Iron Dragon move up. We've got this Dragon Breath attack, which should be pretty good for like kind of cheaper infantry formations. But I'll save it for a moment. Here comes the Iron Dragon. Let's go get back into some of these units. I did not keep a reserve unit back here, and that may end up costing me. Got a crane gun unit on this one. Yeah, I've made some mistakes were made here. I've got to get away from some of these units. Let's go take out those Nangao rifles. Let's go maybe try and get around this line, and I'm going to take this spent artillery, reposition a bit. Oh my gosh, I forgot about the Iron Dragon. He's getting absolutely iron crapped on right now. Yeah, that was a mistake. That was a big mistake. I cannot seem to get these tigers completely loose of that pursuing group. We are taking tons of damage. It is not great. Trying to get rid of some of these Lancers because they're a problem. Let's just keep fighting as best we can. Try and clean up some of these infantry brawls. I'm trying to get my last few rockets out. My dragon heals. If he'll come back from routing and I can get him back into the fight, that would be a huge win for us. I'm going to push these tigers and give chase to all this garbage back here, because that stuff is hurting me very badly. And I'm going to take a Ying here. Wow, we just continue to get absolutely throttled by artillery fire here. Oh, this is bad. Let's try and get those units. We're taking horrendous cannon fire here. The cannons might finish Miao Ying if I don't do something about them here very quickly. They are trying, yeah, they've routed him again. Hopefully I'll get him back. I need him. It's becoming a rather desperate situation. The Dissenter Lords ended up giving me much more than I had initially bargained for here because of just their sheer number of missile units, and then my mismanagement of the battle so far has not been good. However, I did just crush some of their cannon units in the back. I KO'd some of their crane guns, and I've got their last cannon in my sights over here. I'm going to keep on top of these rocket units. I managed to get my dragon back one more time. If I pull him back here and let him begin to heal, let's see if I can salvage a really poorly fought situation initially here. We got to get into these riflemen, take out that cannon. This cannon's got to go off the battle map entirely. Okay, yeah, get into these fights. My own Nangao rifles maybe start to target some of these peasant archers. My crane guns can start to target some of these units. We've got to stay on top of their rifles. If I can stay on top of their rifles, I might have a chance. They've got another crane gun over here. So see, we've got to keep these units moving. Okay, let's pull this unit back in. So again, if we can clean up some of their skirmish units here, might have a chance. I don't want to lose my sentinel here. So we start picking at some of these units. That cannon unit definitely needs to go, but I also have to stay out of range. Those Nangao rifles have some pretty exceptional range right now. I'm having a hard time sealing the deal because we can't seem to break their leadership, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that I have not been able to damage their leaders as of yet. Let's continue to throw units here in the middle. This becomes a bit of a desperate situation here. I need the Nangao rifles dead. Again, the longer the battle goes on now, the more heals I get for my leader, and we are starting to turn the tide, so a really poorly managed and fought battle by me initially. I'm going to try and stick with it and see if I can pull it off, though this is essentially a disaster by any measure of the situation. Alright, let's start targeting their lords. That should help turn the battle in its entirety. I've got plenty of fast movers left to finish off cannons, to go after crane guns that have regrouped, and there we go. We managed to turn it around. What a terrible job on my part. That was just not good. And not only that, on top of me not doing particularly good, skirmishers cause lots of damage when under the control of the AI, especially cannons and guns and all that kind of stuff, because the AI can micro all of it at once. Inevitably, whether you're better than me or the same as me, you are going to fail at times and miss micro, and they're going to make you pay for it. Yeah, my charge with Xiao Ming and my infantry charge were not very well executed. It cost me quite a lot. We can replen our army to some extent. Let's go ahead and do that. We might be able to finish that siege. However, I believe the Dissenter Lords were working on another army. And well, okay, that was one of the armies they brought up. So this is risky for me because our army is very damaged. It's not in good shape. And I also didn't really have a whole lot of upgrades for key units here either. So like usually I have unyielding, which can be quite good. So yeah, we've got a lot of work to do here. Xiaoming, we've got a lot of different abilities and skills and everything we need. We got final transmutation, which again I also did not make good use of and could have. So that was my magic was squandered, my maneuvering was poor. So I need to get on my game and not let that happen again.
Test of iron.
If I auto-resolve this, how bad are they going to make me pay? One Celestial Dragon Guard. Let's just go ahead and do it. Take the settlement. Occupy it so that we can begin replenishing. We got ambushed out here by old Zinchi. May still be in the vicinity, so hopefully our dear brother's army can be salvaged out here. We're down an infantry unit.
Unswerving duty will be rewarded.
I lost a halberd. I would have rather replaced it with a halberd, but I can quickly replace it with one of these Jade Warriors, and then if I maybe merge a couple of these Nangao rifles, we can go ahead and recruit another as well. So that'll help me get more units back more quickly to try and get that army back up to speed. We had fought some battles against the vampires on the last one and we won, but the vampires are pretty much back up to full strength. I have allies in the vicinity. They appear to be wanting to lead an attack. There are just huge numbers of vampires in this vicinity, and my army is not replenished enough to get back in this fight yet. In fact, I'm going to kind of flee back here and consider what I might want. I honestly think this army might need a little bit more infantry.
Only the worthy may serve.
and it's going to take me a couple of turns to come up with an infantry unit that's worth it. So let's go ahead and grab that Celestial Dragon Guard. We're going to have to replenish for a couple of turns anyway. So I'm not going to be able to apply any pressure to the Caravan of Blue Roses, unfortunately, at the moment. But I do have a whole other army being stood up. However, I mean, I need to get a couple of armies to pressure the Skaven over here. And then, of course, we have a fight going on in the Chaos Waste now as well. So we've got multiple fights underway. I'm going to push over here. We could end up ambushed, because that's obviously a thing that this faction can do. The Fortress of Red Eyes has a pretty significant garrison, and if I go siege it immediately with Miao Ying, they may very well, you know, just bring these armies back and gang up on her. So what I'm going to do is leave her garrisoned for the moment. We are in perfect harmony. Yay. Doesn't happen very often for me, so I'm going to cherish it while we're here. So yeah, we are in perfect harmony at the moment. Our income is quite solid, and there's room to continue there. We've been working on getting a lot of buildings built, and there are still many, many more to go. Many to go. And we are probably coming up close to our in-game scenarios as well, because we're close to turn 100. I was going to use this army to reinforce Xiaoming, but if anything, I kind of feel like we should cover this entrance to our territory, because we keep getting, I think, armies that are making their way in from this vicinity. So let's cover that entrance. Let's check our movement points. So Miao Ying, we know that she's supposed to sit still. Chanli is needing to sit still. This one's just been painfully long to replenish. There's very little I can do about that, though we are about to get some growth here in the Haunted Forest, which could help us a little. We can't probably open up a whole lot more slots in this settlement, because it really wasn't intended for us. This is a poor settlement for me to have to defend right now. When I had Nobly Gorge, I probably should have just done more work defending it at the moment, because it was dipped into vampire territory a little. Then we have this lord here that we could go start training an army for, and we probably should, just based on the fact that we have the income for it, and we can garrison that army at the Bastion, at least for the time being. Some of you mentioned that we need more heroes in our armies. That is definitely true. In some of our armies, we could certainly use more heroes. And speaking of, let's see if we can pull an alchemist here or something. Got an astromancer, which would be pretty good still, regardless. Sure-footed. Though that is going to knock my balance off, unfortunately. So we'll have to counterbalance it. But let's grab an astromancer. Leadership for all units, -1 corruption, or control and harmony. I mean, none of these are amazing. Honestly, all of these are pretty mediocre. We did start off with a warhorse because of the beginning rank here. I'm going to put a couple points into scouting, because it can be pretty helpful, and then we'll do Curse of the Midnight Wind. These also, I think, typically help with the... I think they, like I said, I think they typically help. Let's recruit a hero here. Can I get... We need an Alchemist Tower. Do we not have an Alchemist Tower? May not. Oh, we do. Okay, good. Let's do this weapon specialist. I'll recruit this one. That'll put me back in balance, and then I will move over here towards the Snake Gate. They can meet up with this army. That will keep us in balance. Get me a couple more heroes that we can put to use in these armies. Some of our armies don't have enough heroes. I don't believe Cathay even has a melee hero available to them at the moment. I'm actually going to end the turn, save up a little more money, and then we will try and do more upgrades. We'd focused on growth for a little while, which has been nice. In some ways, though, control would be good. Yeah, we're in balance right now, but we have a lot of regions that are pretty in the negative on control, so I'd love to see those built up a little and become a little more stable, so that we don't, you know, have potential rebellions cropping up behind us the very next time that I make a mistake, which we know I will. All right. Not going to dispatch a caravan. Yeah, so if we can get rid of the Caravan of Blue Roses, it's possible we might be able to get caravans started again over to some of our allies. But right now, the reason I have not been running the caravans is because they just die as soon as we get them in, and it's been rather pointless. So we've either got to clear a hole through Grimgore, or we've got to clear a hole through the Caravan of Blue Roses, and all of that is proving challenging. And that's good, right? I mean, I'm a seasoned player. I've played many, many, many campaigns in Total War games, this one included. And I'm 100 turns in, and it's... I mean, are we very strong? Yes, we absolutely are. We are certainly very strong. Are we invincible? No. We are clearly having trouble applying pressure to every point as I would like to. Okay, their army fell back to the fortress. However, seeing an opportunity, I think, here to attack with 2 armies against their 1+ garrison. Now, don't get me wrong, though. Their garrison is going to be significant. And they are about to improve some of their buildings here, and they could just keep recruiting new units. So I do want to go ahead and apply the pressure and see what we can do in terms of taking this settlement. I may have to siege it for a couple turns, which would stink because we're taking attrition, and if Kolak comes up behind them with an army, we could be in some very real trouble. Let's continue the siege here. None of my units are going to love fighting anything armored on the walls, and they do have some pretty brutally effective garrison units. Let's continue the siege. If we can get them to take some attrition, and hopefully we take less than them, because I do believe I have done some research, or if they bring up the reinforcing armies, trying to fight me off that way. I need to get within reinforcement range here. Let's see what the auto-resolve does. Sometimes the auto-resolve will just hand you one.
Decree.
It's not bad. The auto-resolve's not going to take any units from me. And we would totally crush them here. I think we should take this, because this would be a tough fight. I mean, look at these armor-piercing Chaos Warriors chosen. Like, this would be a very difficult fight. And then they have magic on top of it. If it's going to give us a Pyrrhic victory and let us in on the very first turn without taking attrition, I'm going to take this one. I hope it's the right decision, because like I said, if Kolak all of a sudden shows up, or they show up with some more reinforcing armies, we could be in trouble. Fortunately, the Bastion's not far behind, which would be kind of a fallback point, right? If I lose armies out here, the enemy's not going to be able to just blast right through the Bastion. You know, it's going to take them some armies and some effort. Alright, we're going to take attrition regardless right here with this army, which is, again, not great, so I want to leave it within reinforcement range here. So that army is not going to be super happy with its current position. Let's see. I'm looking at our balance right now. I want to help improve casualty replenishment and control, so I'm going to build that. That's a yin building. That would put us into perfect balance. And then, if I did a yang building here... I actually like the one that gives me more crossbows, so that'd be another yin. So in 7 turns, that would put me overbalanced. Which means that here over the short run, we probably don't have to worry about too much here. We might want to just put in some basic recruiting or something. I don't know. All these take a long time. Really what we need is extra growth. But that's also going to throw us out of balance unless I pull in like another character or building somewhere else, which maybe we can counterbalance it somewhere else. It'd be good to get some growth. So ultimately that would put me... So this one's going to knock me back into balance, and then 6 more turns after that we'll be out of balance. But it'll be on the yin side. So if I put a yang building here, then it should work out. Ultimately, though it'll be a little bit of time split apart, and it's nice to be in perfect balance because all the bonuses we get to control. You can see here that that bonus would be very handy right now. It'd be enough to slow down the loss here and actually stop it in this province.
Outcast sorcerer.
Okay, I'm gonna bring my sorcerer over. Let's go. Oh wow, our income just came down significantly.
Erect a shrine to our ancestors.
Did we lose trade with someone?
My ancestors require it.
Why did my income just come down so much? Trades gain, population, death battle, equipment gain. I don't see anything that says we lost a trade agreement. Huh. Was it just the balance driving it that high? I mean, I suppose that's possible. It seems unlikely. Wow, the vampires are coming after us full bore. Yee! Let's hope that we get some garrison here. Okay, we do. We'd get an extra 5 swords, a couple extra crossbows, some extra spears. We're not going to be fully replenished, but our cannons would be online. We'd get an extra bit of infantry line. But we would be up against some long odds. Fortunately for me, these armies are going to take attrition, so we need help.
The dragon-blooded.
And help is not close. I can't escape to the sea either, so...
Dragon-blooded Shugunga.
We fight here and win, or we lose. No. That's pretty much all there is to it. We'd be up against 3 vampire armies, a lot of which is just crap chaff.
Cease.
They do have a necromancer there.
No.
Helmengorst is amongst them. If we kill their leaders, again, that leaves us up against a lot of crap chaff. Except this time, I don't think we would be without some magic to take out infantry blobs, which we are not in this case. So we do have some capability to deal with infantry blobs. And we've also got final transmutation, so we do have some capability. This would be a tough battle, though. It would be a very tough battle. Again, not 100% sure how winnable that is. Find out. That is strange. I wish I knew what had caused my income to drop so suddenly and so much. Alright, I'm gonna... So this building is not necessary there. Some of our stuff changed probably when we took that settlement. Building's fine at the Shrine of the Alchemist. Oh boy, things are interesting here. We've got skill points out here with Miao Ying. Let's take care of those. Kind of thinking through all of my challenges here. Let's get Earthing and let's get Arcane Conduit.
I was born to wield it.
Well, if you were born to wield it, then wield it well, because we've got some major challenges coming up over the next few turns. It's gonna be interesting. It is going to get interesting. Gonna get very spicy. Does this army have... They do not have Lightning Strike. I could respec this army, give them Lightning Strike, and try and go win these, you know, like in a one-off, but I mean, that's kind of cheating. So I'm not gonna do that, like, and even if I did do it, I mean, there's multiple enemy armies, and I'm not sure, like, how cleanly and efficiently with this army alone I can take them out, so I don't think that's what I'm gonna do, go out and Lightning Strike them like that. Let's instead let's go back into the skill tree here. We got Wall of Wind and Fire. We did not put anything into Unyielding, though, which at this point would be pretty handy. Yielding would make our infantry significantly stronger. But it is just mostly swords. So, yeah, again, I'm gonna just kind of hold there. I feel like respecking is probably a little bit cheaty there, though technically we could. Man, things are just absolutely wild. We cannot get a break for a country minute. I feel like this army is not potent enough. Like these Lancers, I really need... I like having their mobility, but I feel like this army is a little bit overloaded in terms of, like, I don't have quite enough melee power in this army. Like, I feel like a Terracotta Sentinel, for instance, would give me a whole lot more capability than these Lancers, but, I mean, the Lancers aren't terrible. I might just set up an ambush here, see if we can trap anybody on the way in. It's not great chances of an ambush here. It's a 70% chance right there across into enemy territory. 80% chance right here, and I think it still covers the road. No, it doesn't. Let's just move back to here for now, then we'll move into a different position.
celestial
Okay, boy, things are about to get real spicy here, folks. They're about to get real interesting. We need this army because we are gonna have more fights coming. What are we lacking here? Probably a little bit more infantry. We give us 6. It's probably not a bad idea to have 7 infantry. I'll probably just throw one more non-elite unit here.
service is every
That puts us up at 18. Got good range in that army. If anything, we're probably just lacking some heavy-hitting stuff like a sentinel. And unfortunately, I cannot recruit sentinels locally yet.
wind shape.
I would have to build this building, which takes 6 turns. That is a mess. Let's get into... It's gonna be expensive, but man, this army does need some power. We need to get it started now because I need these armies elsewhere right now, and they're not ready.
Serve and honor your ancestors.
Let's go ahead and eat it, and just do what we gotta do here. All right, I'm gonna let Brother Zhao rest for this turn. Then we're gonna have to continue against the Dissenter Lords and finish them off. Oh. Let's see what happens. The Caravan of Roses. Might be interesting if Village's faction pulls something here too, so we'll keep an eye. Or if Kolek showed up right now, it'd just be awful timing for me outside the gate there. I mean, that would just be horrible timing. Now, they are going to attack me. The auto-resolve is going to give it to me and only charge me 2 swordsmen for my trouble. And that does feel tempting. The question is, can I do better? I could fight this, and we very well could lose it. You know what I mean? We saw what happened the last time I took the vampires on. I lost. They've got some dangerous units here, too. They got Blood Knights, Coaches, Mortis Engines, Hex Wraiths, Terrorgeist. Not all of their armies came this way. Honestly, I'm going to just take the victory. The downside to this is, like... I'm going to need to recruit some new units, and I'm not going to have any global slots available for a while.
Fight in perfect harmony.
But we do get to keep our garrison. I'm going to take whatever replenishment it'll give me, because replenishment is difficult to come by out here. They had more armies right behind. How convenient. And of course it saves my game. It saves my game. They didn't bring all their armies in the first run.
Earn the Emperor's love.
Well, I earned that one by not fighting the battle myself. I don't know if it would have made a difference, but... There I go. Yeah, and look at this. Village did show up with an army, though it is a small one. And it's saying he's going to take out most of my units, so... I'm not going to make the auto-resolve mistake this time. Oh, man. I feel like I done gone and stepped in it now.
Acolyte of secrets.
Lost an army. Well, hopefully I can do something smarter here. So we are up against Village. We started with almost no winds of magic, which is very convenient for the AI there. They're going to come and attack my balloon, probably, so... I was hoping to get a regrowth in on the Jolly Green Giant here, and I cannot overcast it. I'm going to remind myself what the overcast does. Greater effect on replenishment. I definitely do want it overcast. Let's go ahead and check that. Alright, well, we're going to have to resume the game. Those guys... Oh, no, 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 no! Miscast my spell, and then regrew the balloon. Dadgummit. I swear it drives me crazy. Alright, I gotta get up here and fix the situation with the Furies attacking my balloon. At this point, I guess it's a good thing I cast the regrowth, because otherwise the Furies would be destroying my balloon. But I really needed that regrowth on the Jolly Green Giant. All of my reinforcements are very weak. You have a lot of crossbows, despite the fact that they are... That's frustrating. Didn't start with the right magic. Misclick a spell. I mean, that's also just like me. So... Alright, let's just let our balloon go ahead and do a little bit more work here. It's gonna take me too long. Actually, I can transform back for a moment and then try and do at least a Earthblood here.
Setting forth.
Stupid Zinch.
Behold the
Gosh, dang, that hurt. That piece of crap. Took a... Oh my gosh, he's just casting it again and again over here. That Zinchy jerk.
All is possible.
You know how quickly those spells can cycle for Zinch, so...
master of tempest.
There we go. Fortunately for us,
For the Emperor.
we got rid of all their infantry near immediately.
Defend the realm. Sent by
We do have to deal with their hero and with village. Let's bring our own heroes out to help. I'm gonna kind of just run around these with Miao Ying. I'm gonna go ahead and put some more heals on the Sentinel. Okay, we got rid of their last infantry unit there.
Stars align.
We're still very, very low on magic, which is irritating.
Harmonious roar!
No, no, no. Trying to get all my crossbows to work on this character. Oh my gosh, he's gonna kill my sorcerer.
A trail of
Okay, I get it. You got a lot of magic and you don't like my sorcerer. I mean, message received. Message received.
They must fall. My power.
I'm just gonna continue healing here because that should be beneficial to me. I'm trying to get some shots in on their hero. It's working. I don't really think I need to... Oh my gosh, man. The Jolly Green Giant just crapped on this guy. And he took all that missile fire. Now we just gotta knock out Village. He's a goner. I've got my crane guns working him. There we go. He's down. And now we just gotta knock out Village. And Village just routed. And I'm gonna sick the Giant on him as well. I'm gonna actually do a little bit of healing here at the end of this battle because this will help me on the map for the next battle because this translates over to the map.
For the Emperor.
I want to take Village completely out,
Eradicate them.
but he's gonna get pushed around unfortunately by our units, which is just kind of a mechanic that's annoying but happens after the battle's over. Yeah, see, he's just getting pushed. There we go. We did get some hits in, finally. That Longma. Yep, there we go. Okay. Alright, well, that was good. We didn't lose any units like I said we would. We actually ended up healing the Green Guardian and Miao Ying and the Balloon a little, though we ended up losing hit points in our Alchemist. That replenishment isn't really going to be much, but neither is the money, so I guess I'll just take the replenishment. That might be Village. Like, I'm surprised they attacked me there. It could be that that's their last army, and they're kind of forced to by the AI behavior. The Center Lords want a peace treaty. We're not going to give it to them. We're going to finish them off. We know that they're on their last stand. Fortunately, the Outer Resolve is going to give me this, or else we would have had more losses on that turn in.
Harmony restored.
The city of Shugingen holds its own. So yeah, they're making plenty of mistakes here, and we're all kinds of out of balance because we lost our characters. Speaking of characters, let's go take a look at that. Hopefully some of them got wounded instead of straight up killed. Like, I'm hoping that they will come back to us, though we're not a Yin +4, so we're losing a bunch of control, which is going to cause issues. We can hire some characters in the temporary to kind of minimize that. So we're taking attrition out here. This army needs to go replenish. We also need to take out this army here. Take out that army. I cannot get into replenishment territory, unfortunately. Why did that army have to go off over there? Does Village have more settlements? Let's take a look at the diplomacy here real quick. So, Village, they have 0 settlements, so we can finish his faction off right here, right now.
The Emperor's chosen daughter. Favored daughter.
Okay, so there's one.
You face a dragon of Cathay. They have no other worth. I stand apart.
And this should be
Suffer the tempest.
hopefully the end of that faction.
The dragon-blooded.
Get one of our armies replenishing something. It wants to kill my balloon, so I'm gonna have to fight this one as well, which is stupid, but let's go ahead and do it. How are they gonna kill my balloon? They don't have a caster. Like, it literally cannot be attacked. CA, please. Alright, this isn't gonna be much of a battle, but I'm gonna make use of the time that I have. So, like, for instance, we have very limited magic, but I'm gonna go ahead and use some of that magic to heal some of these characters.
My power is absolute.
Won't give me a lot, but again, replenishment's so slow out here that we'll take what we can get when we can get it. And use that to kind of boost our recharge rate. We're getting 1 power every 2 seconds, which means I should have enough for a regrowth soon. When the enemy comes into range, I'm gonna let my crossbows mow down the trolls. I'm of least concern with the trolls at the moment. Yeah, how are you gonna kill my balloon? I'm curious to see.
Your magic is as nothing to our master's will.
Yeah, so how exactly was my balloon gonna be killed? Care to explain that one, CA? I'm waiting. Alright, my crossbows are in range of their infantry. This is probably gonna speed the assault of the enemy here. Let's do a regrowth on the green sentinel. Okay, I would like the trolls dead, please, and it's not going to take long. You want to charge someone? Here's your opportunity. I'm assuming this guy is going to run away at his earliest convenience. I've got him pinned between Miao Ying and the Green Sentinel, so life is not going to be long or pleasant. I'll let my crossbows rip a shot off at him and see if they can bring him down. I don't want him to run away and still be alive at the end of this turn. Got some damage done, but he's going to exit range. Not much I can do about it. If I would have been in dragon form, maybe with Miao Ying, but he probably still would have outrun me. Alright, so victory for us. I know it's not much replenishment, but again, I'm just going to take it because the amount of cash we're talking about is negligible. Their army did flee away where I cannot reach it. I am pretty well beyond irritated about that, and I can't reach it with this army either.
I stand apart.
And I cannot get into any other type of stance. I'm just going to go there. So I cannot extinct their faction on this turn in, unfortunately. Though I am going to have to end the turn in an attempt to try and get my game to be saved. Miao Ying, we probably need to put some skill points on her. Eye of the Storm can use if into the unit is flying, so it gives her a bunch of extra damage. Melee defense when fighting against Norskin and Chaos. We should probably do this because we've got Colette coming up, and then Master of Storms would be a good one as well.
Fit for the dragon's daughter.
Okay, let's finish up this episode. We're going to hinder replenishment for our enemies. The Fortress of Eyes is in our control. We do need to fix that balance, probably at least a little bit, before we take a whole bunch of casualties from it.
Shogungan Lord reporting.
I could just recruit more units here at Hanyu Port to replace our army that we lost to the vampires, so rest in pieces, my sweet troops. This army will be in somewhat better shape to face some of that blob because of the fire rain rockets, and we do have the sentinels, which are very difficult for them to cut down, but we don't want to go it alone. This army will be a nice support, and then we need to probably just go ahead and start re-recruiting the one that we lost. That was a massive mistake on my part, and I feel pretty stupid about it, but it is what it is. It happened, and I'm going to have to deal with it at this point, so Let's hire a dragon-blooded Shugingen Lord. And we have one that is a tier 8 here. It's better than nothing. Let's recruit. That'll get us back closer to balance.
Shogun Lord reporting.
Let's do a little bit of checking on the skill points here. That's fine the way that one started. And then let's see if we can recruit
Celestial ancestors.
a hero, which I may disband later. But at least for the moment, this will at least get us back into harmony and prevent me from having to deal with that issue.
Astroman solved the celestial court.
Alright,
Celestial artifacts.
so we're at least back into harmony at the moment. That did help our income a lot. So the harmony is having a big impact because it's driving up the income on all of our buildings by 25%. So balance is important. And we are back in balance. So I will see you all in the next episode. Hope you enjoyed this one.